Starting in late 2015, a new third-generation EGFR inhibitor known as Osimertinib, marketed as Tagrisso, came on the market for the subset of patients with an EGFR mutation who developed acquired resistance on a first or second generation agent and who had the acquired resistance mutation T790M, which is seen and develops in about 50 to 60% of patients with acquired resistance on one of these first or second generation EGFR tyrosine kinase inhibitors. Now, Tagrisso has good activity, response rate around 60% in previously treated patients. It's also generally very well tolerated. It has good activity in the central nervous system, and it's been a real advance for patients, but it's not something that's available to everybody. You need to do testing with a repeat biopsy or a plasma-based test to find T790M, which is only detectable in at most 50 to 60% of patients. And in fact, a lot of people in the community don't get retested and miss that opportunity. So it's been a very important question now to ask whether there might be a role and a better role for osimertinib as a first-line treatment. Can we give a powerful third-generation EGFR inhibitor and get better results giving it first line as compared to waiting with it available in the second line setting? That has been the question to be answered by the FLAURA study, first-line AURA. The AURA series of trials has been with osimertinib, and this first-line trial pits osimertinib head-to-head against either gefitinib or erlotinib in previously untreated patients with an activating EGFR mutation. We don't yet have the full results of that study, but we anxiously await them. They should be presented in September or October of 2017 at the latest. But we do have a press release that tells us that this trial was positive for the primary endpoint of progression-free survival. Is that enough to change the standard of care? Not necessarily. The issue is that we do have very good results for many patients by giving gefitinib, erlotinib, or afatinib first line, and many patients will do well for 9 months or 12 months or even a few years before developing acquired resistance, and then we can still give osimertinib to a subset of them and get another 6, 9, 12 months or longer. So you're talking about the potential benefits of 2 lines of therapy. On the other hand, if we give osimertinib, even if it postpones the time before development of progression first line, if that improvement is only 3 or 4, maybe even just 5 months compared to gefitinib or erlotinib, that may be not enough to give up the option of a second line of treatment. On the other hand, if osimertinib gives us an improvement in progression-free survival that is 8 or 9 months or longer, such as, say, erlotinib gives you 10 months and you get 18, 19 months, etc., with osimertinib, that is about as much as you could expect to see even by sequencing, and osimertinib first line gives us the opportunity to ensure that everybody with an EGFR mutation gets the benefit of this agent, not just in terms of its extracranial control, but its better intracranial control and probably better overall toxicity profile head-to-head against these agents. We will need to see the actual data, and I think there's a good chance that this could usher in a new era where osimertinib becomes a standard of care, but it's going to come down to the actual numbers and how different they really are, and whether that's worth giving up osimertinib's second line and having an extra line of therapy waiting in the wings.